I'm hugegtavicecityfan, and today it's been a long time since I've done a Q&A, right? And for people who know that my laptop went down, right, I did also lose the Q&A file which has all the Q&As in it, and all the questions, I lost all the questions. So I made another file and I went back and on my channel and I took down almost every question that I could find. I hope I got every single one. So there's a high possibility that I could have missed your question, right? If I missed your question, I'm sorry, you know, because I lost the files, and you know it's hard to keep track of all of them then. Just if I missed yours, just please send it again. It'll be on the next one. Okay. Now to start off, MrGrimezTheAntiHero asks, how do you feel about Namco saying that they will support Soul Calibur Film only if the Tekken movie is successful? I think Namco are just idiots. They're very, very stupid, right? Yeah. Why was the Street Fighter animated movie, Street Fighter 2, you know, the manga version, why was that film so brilliant? Because Capcom helped out with it. So let's put it this way: they're going to help out Soul Calibur if the Tekken movie is successful, when they didn't even help out with the bloody Tekken movie in the first place. Personally, I think the Tekken movie is going to be pretty good anyway, right? Yeah, but about it being successful, I'm not sure, because all the other fans, yeah, are not too keen on it, right? Yeah, I can guarantee, yeah, if Namco helped out with this film, yeah, it would have been much better than what it is right now. It would have been a freaking masterpiece. It probably wouldn't even be low budget. You know what I'm saying? So I believe it could have been a perfect film, you know. So they will only sought help with Soul Calibur, but not Tekken. You know, it's a bit ridiculous in my opinion, really. Now, do you feel that movies nowadays lack unpredictable endings? I guess it is lacking unpredictable endings. Everyone always knows what always happens at the ends of most films, right? I'll tell you one thing that is still good and unpredictable in most movies these days is most storylines. You watch a trailer, you think the film's about this, you think the film's about that, and then you come to find out that in the film it's like, you know, it's this. You know, I was like, wow, that's a bit different. Now, jackstypewriter asks, have you seen Coraline and what did you think? No, I haven't seen that film. There's one film I unfortunately haven't seen. And huge GTA Vice City fan asks, how do you approach tunes when making music? Usually I always start off with a sound and I always play it on the keyboard. It's been a long time since I've actually started tracks here by starting off with beats first. But lately it's been by playing melodies, so I need to try and change it up a bit. And second, how long does it take you to create each tune type? You know when you have the flow of music on you, you know when you're in the groove and you're ready to just proper write a tune, right? Yeah, you know, you can just get a tune done in about a couple of days. It can happen then, but sometimes when you got something sounding good but then you don't know what to add to it, that will mash it up or just completely change it completely, which makes it sound ridiculous. You know, it takes up to weeks of experimenting, because that's what I always do. I'm still working on 2 tracks that I've been working on for the last month. So it's been, it can take ridiculous long times as well. So when you're in the groove, short. When you can't get it right, months. That's all I can say. Armo619 asks, which game should I get, Tekken 6 or God of War 3? The simple question is, what game are you into? Are you into fighting games or are you into platform games? You know? I could easily just say to you, yeah, just get Tekken 6, and the reason would be is because then you can play me online. You know? And he asked me to tell me why you choose that game. That's basically it. Because I mean, I would have got Tekken. I mean, obviously I got Tekken 6, yeah. I get Tekken 6, yeah, and because I'm more into beat 'em up games than I'm into platform games. So that's really the easiest I can say on that one. Let's go down a bit. Now Chainer 211 asks, since you're into martial arts, have you ever any Tony Jaa films such as The Protector or Ong Bak, the Muay Thai warrior? And if you could, if you have, could you say the style of his films are a bit different to the average martial arts flick? Yep, they definitely are. You can tell, yeah, that all the scenes in Tony Jaa's films, yeah, are practiced, rehearsed so much. It's like they set up, yeah, obstacles, yeah, like for a good parkour bit. You know, there's always happened to be something for him to jump on, you know, for the use of the environment to fight with. Especially that bit here when he was between a double cage, we went jump, 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 jump. That was so wicked. You know, his films are definitely different, and they are pretty different to the normal martial arts films. But it's just class, man. It's wicked. And for people who say fighting games aren't really about story too much, could you admit that Tekken, for a fighting game, has really good in-depth and serious storyline compared to other fighters such as Street Fighter, Virtua Fighter, etc.? I don't know if I can agree with that, yeah, because usually, from what I'm seeing with Tekken, Street Fighter, the storyline is more based every character has their storyline. Every character has their reason for why they come to the Tekken tournament or the Street Fighter tournament, and everyone makes their rivals through each tournament and stuff. You know, everyone has their story, and I'd say each story could easily be in depth enough because everyone always wonders, why did he join Street Fighter? You know, so I can't say that Tekken's got more in depth than Street Fighter. I think it's all the same, really. You know, they all got in depth, so it's very class though, man. So that's what I say. Now, Linisa Vlog 2010. Yeah, here's a question I was expecting one time. Are you going to Global Gathering in Stratford? There's a good lineup. Faithless, Dizzy Rascal, etc. I would be going, but unfortunately it's not in Stratford. Quite a lot of people get mixed up with this, right, yeah? But the Global Gathering is in Stratford upon Avon, and that's nowhere near. Where I live is Stratford in Newham. You know, Stratford upon Avon is completely far away from here. It's freaking at least a 4 to 6 hour drive. It's far from here, man. Yep, so that Global Gathering, I won't be able to go to that. It would have been good, but it's not in Stratford. They'll never have a big gathering thing like that here in Stratford. That's too much. Maybe after the Olympics. And speaking of Rascal, do you prefer him or Crazy Titch on the whole? Who is your favourite grime artist next to Mr. Grimes? Now, don't let Mr. Grimes hear you say that. Mr. Grimes isn't actually a grime artist. He's actually a hip-hop artist. You know, he just called himself Mr. Grimes, yeah, because of, oh god, you need to let him explain it again. He told me the reason once and I forgot it. But it's got nothing to do with grime as in grime music. But anyway, but my favourite grime artists, yeah, I would say probably on a whole it could be Crazy Titch, yeah, because he's a funny guy as well as a good rap, a good MC. But you know, we're not going to be seeing much more of him for a long while. He's in jail. And then Dizzy Rascal, he seems to have come out of the grime area anyway and making class tunes, and I love those tracks as well. And usually my favourite grime songs are done by guys who have bare other songs I don't like. Like, I love JME's song Sidetrack, but I don't know if I like JME as a whole overall. And my favourite grime track is Hoodie Town, yeah, from Young Wisdom Productions, Young D featuring Prodot. So that's a real hard question there, really. Now Bob Wall for Life asks, what do you think of the PSP Go? You think it's good and portable? Yeah, it's good and portable. I think it looked wicked and everything. It's like perfect. It got not bad design. You know, it looks like a definite brilliant handheld. Since my PSP's mashed, I probably would have bought it. But I have the one problem: no UMDs. You know, I feel the UMDs. I mean, because I mean, sometimes you always will have a game. Yeah, I know that if your hard drive gets filled up, you'll probably delete some games and then put other games in there. Yeah, but you may find you want to play some of the old games again. I try to always make sure I keep my old games, as in like UMDs or CDs or cartridges. You know what I mean? So for it to be just hard drive and only hard drive, I think it's not good enough, man. The games get bigger anyway. They'll still fill up the hard drive in short times. Okay. And second, what do you think about the older PSPs being able to have Super Nintendo systems like that on it? I think it's pretty cool. I've got a Super NES emulator on mine. You know, get to play some cool games. It's good, yeah, that you can set it up, yeah, to do 2 players as well. Me and my friend, we were banging out Contra 3. It was wicked. And sorry, for fuck's sake, Jason Moore 87 asks, if you could find out if God was real or not, would you accept? So I'm asking if you would like to know if it's eternity or nothing of an eternity or afterlife, or live without that knowing. That's a real hard question I really can't answer, yeah? Are you asking, would I think it'd be better to know if God was real or not, or should I just let it be? Personally, yeah, I believe in God in my own sort of ways, right? Yeah, I believe God is here, but God is more open than what people make it out to be, right? Yeah, if I had to believe it to a certain extent of how most other people believe it, yeah, I would like a bit more proof than just having faith all the time. So maybe, I guess it would be nice maybe to know if he was definitely 100% real, but it's a hard thing, really. You know what I mean? And Nick Low 23 asks, do you do everything compulsory for current? The keys, vocals, mix, etc. The only thing that I didn't do was the scratch. The scratch was a sample that was in Music 3000, and that's it. But everything else, yep, I did it. All down to the Atari keypads and everything like that. People say, yeah, that I copied and pasted the Sonic 2 sound effect. That's not true. I took a saw, yeah, using the a saw sound, yeah, saw wave, should I say, using the Atari 2600, yeah, and I sped it upwards, which gave it that effect, which is probably what they did, yeah, when they made Sonic sound effects. Would you allow remixes to be done on it? Yep, NSG's already done a remix on it. Linisa Productions is working on a remix on it. I'm glad, yeah, that people like to remix a few things that I've done. It's just as long as they credit me, yeah, I'm happy with it. I like to see what people can do with my sort of stuff. I'm thinking maybe I should start remixing a few people. Martino007 asks, if you could have dinner with one director, one actor, one actress, some boxers and MMA fighters, who'd your choices be and why? You know what, I'm gonna have to think about this one, so let me pause here. So what we were saying, one director, Jeff Liu, one actor, Sylvester Stallone, one actress, I'm gonna have to say Lucy Liu, and some boxers, Prince Nassim Hamid, although he's retired now, and maybe Amir Khan as well. And for MMA fighters, George St. Pierre, Diego Sanchez, Quinton Rampage Jackson, Chuck Liddell, and that maybe, and you know, obviously, although he's not really a fighter, Dana White himself, the president. And second, put together any free fighting game characters or real fighters here to make the ultimate fighting game team in active style. Who are they and why? He gave his example there as martial law, himself, and George St. Pierre. Oh yeah, because keep in mind, yeah, he's a big martial artist himself, man. You should check out his martial arts performance, and that was wicked, man. Now, who would I pick for the wrestling area? I've got to say, yeah, got to have King, yeah, with his high class wrestling and lucha libre moves, all perfect. It's like he can just do absolutely anything to do with wrestling, yeah. It's definitely got to have King. And in my team, need someone really aggressive, someone who shows a lot of aggression, someone who hits and makes sure he wants to freaking hurt someone. And the person I could give for that is Diego Sanchez. He's a pretty good boxer. He has some Muay Thai skills of his own. He's got his own little style called Gadio Jitsu. Yeah, so it's a pretty rare thing. So it shows you that he actually got some things there. And we'll need yeah, someone, yeah, with very good kicks. We need someone with good kicks. Who's got the best kicks? As in the best kicks? Huh. I could say my character's 8D, but that'd be cheating. I would say Anderson Silva, yeah, but I've kind of lost respect for Anderson Silva after his last performance. Maybe I'll just say George St. Pierre as well. He doesn't have that much of a good stand-up, but it's just that I'm rushing because I don't want this video to be too long because everyone's been moaning lately. JSJ07 asks, apart from martial arts, boxing, UFC, are there any other sports you tune into? I watch darts. I tune into darts, you know, because I'm big up to Phil Taylor, and I'm a bit of a darts player myself, so you would see me tune into darts. I would sometimes tune into football when it's like the World Cup and everything, you know what I mean? Or when I go around my friend's house who's a big West Ham fan and watching West Ham and that sort of stuff. So there's that really as well. Out of the Simpsons, South Park and Family Guy, how would you rank them? Simpsons second place, South Park and Family Guy first place. It's hard to say which one's better. There was a point where I was watching Family Guy more than South Park, but that's only because I've watched every episode of South Park, not every episode of Family Guy. So even if I watched an episode from season 1 of Family Guy, it would be like a new episode to me because I haven't seen it before. So I'm watching more Family Guy lately. And South Park did go down at one point, but the last episodes they've just come out with recently, right, yeah, were damn good episodes. They're coming back up now, yeah. If you liked South Park at the time, like season 8, season 9, maybe 10 as well, yeah, then you would have loved the last few episodes they've just come up with because they are really good. The one that takes the mick out of Facebook was funny. The 200th and 201 episode, really good. They've worked. They're working back now, boy. So I've got to say, Family Guy, I can't rank them. Family Guy and South Park are both at the top, man. Both #1. Big up to both of them. And the Pac-Man Classic asks, what are your brief thoughts on the election that is upon us? Don't know if you're into politics or don't know much about politics. I don't know anything about politics, man. I don't know anything. You know, every time I go for votes, yeah, I just let Shadow Lost Arts tell me who to vote for because he knows about the politics more than anybody, and I always know he knows what he's talking about. So I just always go, when I go to vote in, which I'm going to be going to soon, I always just ask Shadow Lost Arts because I don't know much about the politics. I don't even know what election's going on at the moment. People are talking about it and I just don't know I don't know fuck all, man. Seriously. So really, you shouldn't really be asking me questions about politics because I don't know nothing. And Yusuf's blog asks, we all know what Dana White thinks of Anderson Silva, but what do you think of his performance at UFC 112? Right. The first 2 rounds, Anderson Silva was doing some showing off, some mucking about, yeah. I know Dana White didn't like that either, but I liked that. I liked it because it was funny. It does make, but yeah, there's one little bad thing about it. It makes people think that MMA is fake. People fights like that, yeah. But what the bad thing was round 3, 4, and 5. Anderson Silva kept running away. You know, he already knew he won the fight, yeah, with the first 2 round performances. So the end of with the other rounds, he just kept running away, moving away, and it was very embarrassing because he just wasn't fighting, yeah. And Dana White, I've never seen him so pissed, yeah. Like he didn't even go up and you know, he didn't even go up and give him the belt like he usually does, and the referee just put Anderson Silva's hand up, yeah, and then just like dropped it, like, think fuck it, I just can't bothered. And, you know, that was funny. So I thought, yeah, that was very bad from Anderson Silva. He's going to be fighting again in UFC 117, and as Dana White said, if he does that again, yeah, he's out of the UFC completely. And I can understand, because these people pay quite a lot of money for this, and you know, you've got to fight. And he looked like he could have defeated Damian Maia in the first round anyway. He looked like he could have did it. I just thought, why was he messing around with him too much? If you watch boxing, do you think you got Davis there, David Haye is too scared to fight Vladimir Klitschko, and who do you think would win in a fight between Mayweather and Pacquiao? I think David Haye, well, this is the way I see it, yeah. The Klitschko brothers, yeah, have always, they said, yeah, that David Haye has always been avoiding them, right, yeah? And why didn't Vladimir Klitschko did that call out thing, like, you know, like he did? Why didn't he do that the first time? You know, maybe David Haye didn't even know yet that they were calling that out for a match. He needed to do that video there for that. My personal opinion is, I think David Haye is probably ready for them. Just, you know, I don't know how long that apparently the avoidance has been going on for, but he's called him out now, and I think they are getting ready for a match. I'm not sure what's happening. Now, who do I think would win out of Mayweather and Pacquiao? It was supposed to happen in March already, yeah? And I reckon if it happened then, Pacquiao would win. But now if it happens like now, I bet Mayweather's doing something again to make sure he's training and making him even more better, having more time doing whatever he's doing. I bet Mayweather probably would win now. But Pacquiao still got a lot of oomph to add into it, yeah. But that's a hard question. All I just know is I just want to know why is Mayweather scared to face Pacquiao, because that stupid thing that had the reason why they didn't have the fight in March, all to do, yeah, with taking a urine test, you know, that drug test thing. Just ridiculous. Okay, now Jason 290119989 asks, PS3 is expecting to update to enable 3D gaming. Do you think it will be gimmicky, or do you think it's going to set the benchmark for the future gaming? Now, I don't know about setting the benchmark for future gaming, like for doing it forever, yeah. But I gotta say, yeah, I've actually played a game in 3D, right? Yeah, I don't know what the game was. It was a racing game. I don't remember what the game was because it was a PC game. I was at a convention, and when I put the 3D glasses on and I looked at the screen, it was so wicked. You know, it's like the frame of the car, it's like you could look around it, and the steering wheel of the car, it's like you're looking over a real steering wheel. Like the steering wheel's like pure in your face, and it really looked real. Really looked perfectly great. I thought, now that was damn good. I know a lot of people, if you're someone who's into, if you're into gaming for just graphics, then you're fucking gonna love that. So that's all I'll say on that one. And second, what programs do you master your songs with if you do it yourself? I sometimes use SoundForge, and I could use I had to tweak up the sound quality, of course, and I can also use I use Fruity Loops as well, because it has its little mixer in there. But I'm planning to get into using Pro Tools, because that is the master of mastering, you know. And I may need to do a little bit more training on mastering the songs as well. I've done a bit of training at the course that I was in, but I still may need to do a bit more training on that. But it's cool though, man. So that's all I've got to say. Now, RE0514 asks, Temp, you've always said that you weren't too keen on doing live shows, but why not do a live performance for YouTube? You mean like put the camera on me, yeah, while I'm performing the songs? The situation, I actually don't have confidence playing the tunes as I do when making the tunes. It's a bit of a different story. That's the reason why I don't go live in the first place. For doing it for YouTube, I'm just not sure what the difference is if I'm playing the track for you, or if you're already listening to the track that I put on YouTube. Well, I can give it a thought, because people are talking about me doing it, going live on Second Life, and performing tracks there. So I'm still you know, I'm still like giving it a bit of practice how to DJ. I don't really like DJ. I don't think I have the perfect mind for DJing, but man, maybe I guess I got to get done with it. But I have to see what's going to really happen on that situation, because I'm really not too sure what to say. Alright guys, that's the end of the Q&A. Sorry if I sound like I was rushing some of these questions right here, but I know there's quite a lot of people who have been moaning that my videos have been too long and stuff. So we'll have to see what I have to do about future Q&As. But that's all I've got to say, guys. Thanks very much. I'll see you all later. Love you all.